Don't do that. Good morning, everyone. It is 8:01. That means it's time for First Alert Weather Extra. And obviously, the big story this morning is how marvelous it feels outside. Good morning, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Jill Gilardi here. Well, things are going to change, so we're maximizing our time outside with these kind of conditions. Certainly been refreshing to start. Tomorrow will be a little milder, a little muggier, no big deal. Still much better than the days following. And as we take a look at, yes, we have hot and humid weather returning Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all First Alert weather days. The heat index during that stretch could get, in that 95 to maybe as high as 105, especially Friday. That's going to be the worst of the heat. Impacts outdoor plans, heat-related illnesses. We could see our third heat wave of the year. Of course, we need 3 days in a row of 90 or greater for a high, forecasting 92 Thursday, 97 Friday. And depending on if we get any showers and storms Saturday, right now 90, though it could go a little higher or it could go a little lower. So it's a little iffy if we'll accomplish the third heat wave, but nonetheless, it's going to feel like one. All right, the heat risk. It gets up to moderate level on Thursday. It goes to major heat risk for Friday. And it looks like it's going to be in that range on Saturday that's in between. But for Friday, as we focus on that for just a second, look what we're forecasting for highs on the right and what the records are on the left. So it's going to be a close one if we either tie or beat out the old record high set in 2001. And this we're saying for Saturday, it's that blend between a major and a moderate heat risk. Temperature trend is looking like this, at least according to this particular model. So tomorrow we're back into the mid-80s. That's normal. We got some low 90s, as mentioned, for Thursday. Upper 90s for Friday. And then low 90s, very close to that. Low 90-degree range on Saturday, and maybe not quite as extreme, but still muggy going into Sunday. Let's show you the muggies returning. I hope that dip is true on Saturday. I don't know if we should believe it yet, but nonetheless, you can see where we're headed. We're getting into the really uncomfortable stuff after tomorrow. So tomorrow you're barely going to notice an uptick in the humidity. Heat index trend, remember when we combine the highs and also the dew point temperature, the measure of moisture in the air, our skin will say it feels, because it's harder to cool off, that it's going to be in that extreme range. Definitely Thursday, certainly Friday, to almost dangerous, and borderline that on Saturday. So that's why those 3 days are First Alert weather days. And then we show the heat risk, which is nothing for today. Fabulous weather. The comfort index, we're seeing dew points in the 50s, some spots in the 40s. Just amazing. And then tomorrow, see, no big deal. We got today and tomorrow. We're enjoying, thanks to high pressure building in and giving us some really, really nice weather. It does slide to our east tomorrow, and all that will do is change the wind direction and allow things to start to warm up. So great day at the beach or the pool, anything to cool off. I mean, obviously, you step outside the pool after you're all wet. You might get a little chill because of that evaporative cooling process. We don't really get that process happening much when it gets really hot outside. Remember, it's harder for your body to cool off and evaporate any moisture, things like that. That's why sweat to cool off, but it's not evaporating from your body. So yeah, it feels so hot out there. So this is real good stuff. Perfect weather to be outdoors doing whatever. If you're heading to the beach though, 75 Mystic versus 80 in Milford. And here's a look at the forecast highs across our state. So fabulous weather for eating lunch outside, having dinner outside. Oh, I love it. Sitting in the shade, and it's just a perfect combination. Of course, things are getting, a little crunchy in some areas, especially the southwestern part of the state. And what gets crunchy first are those hanging potted plants. Almost watering twice a day. Those usually at least a good soaking once will get you to the next day, but man, they can go quick. And even if they do look droopy, usually you just give them a good drink and they perk back up. But if you go too long, it may be hard to recover. Drought monitor, of course, this is released every Thursday by the Climate Prediction Center. So right now, abnormally dry southwest, but we'll have to wait and see Thursday if there's any changes in that. Any change in the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook? Just a general lean towards wetter, but nothing in that extreme direction, nor the outlook for 8 to 14 days. So yeah, that drier than average pattern looks to continue. Normal highs and lows. All right, 64 versus 86. How about this day back in 2011? 103 for the high. Holy moly. So yeah, we're going to be below that today. When we start to rise above average again, well, certainly give it a couple more days. 6 to 10 day outlook indicates a chance of us staying above average. Oh, well, I'll take that. I mean, if it's not humid too, I'll really take it. But hey, if we can have even lower than average temperatures, which is mid 80s, which we just showed you, beyond the 7 day, that sounds great. Once upon a time, we had a little low, but that has dissipated, so there's nothing to show. And I don't know why 2 blue dots are showing up, but they are there. Ignore them. Let's go to our first alert. 7 day forecast. High of 80 today at best. I mean, some spots in the 70s. Back to normal or a high tomorrow, but don't forget that little 56 right there for Wednesday morning. Another great night to open up the windows, get a break from using the AC again. But here we go. And I really want you to focus, not relative humidity. That doesn't tell the story so much. It's really dew point temperatures. So whenever those dew points are in the 50s or 40s, your lows will be usually that cool. If the dew points are even lower, you have a chance to get even cooler. Now, if the dew points get into the 60s or the 70s, guess where your overnight lows are? They're right there. And so that just is a measure of moisture. And of course, the higher they are, the harder it is for your body to cool off in those conditions. It just feels like a wall of heat. And then with the air temperature getting into the 90s, it's that rough combination. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all first alert weather days. Now, the temperature might be knocked down a little, and just a little bit for Saturday and Sunday with a slightly higher chance for storms. I would say right now, Saturday, the models are completely opposite of each other, to be honest. Friday through Sunday, one's like, I'm wetter, and the other one's like, no, I'm drier, and then they flip-flop. So right now, we're just leaning with the solution that shows Saturday with a slightly higher chance. But it's not a washout. It's random. Not everyone gets rain. You know how it goes. And there's not like a strong cold front coming through, to really create destructive storms. So I guess that's one plus. But yeah, once we get through, past tomorrow, it's just hot and muggy, at least as we look through Monday of next week. And shoreline highs, well, you're going to get toasty too. Upper 80s Thursday, low 90s Friday, and upper 80s on Saturday. All right, everyone, that is your morning version of First Alert Weather Extra. Be sure to tune in this evening at 9:30. We'll let you know if there's been any changes to the forecast. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy this lovely feeling air.